right, 1 second, people. We're still setting up over here. Just getting used to this multi-streaming stuff. 1 moment. Hopefully this is all still connected. All right, we're going to be checking up on this. Show will be starting soon. All right, just making sure everything's running. 1 second, still going through some steps over here before we get everything going. All right. All right, everybody, welcome to Foo Gaming Live. We're doing more, kind of a similar topic. By kind, I mean kind of the same topic. We're just going to be going over some more trolls who are going on with the same dumb bullshit where they say the Xbox is dead, as they do almost every day. I don't know. I guess they get lots of clicks for it or whatever. That's why they go on and on over that. Or what's up, Quentin? All right. So the new thing now, the new thing they're doing is they're saying that the Steam Deck is going to destroy this brand. And I don't really believe it, but we're going to analyze these guys because they have some pretty interesting takes on the industry, the gaming industry. All right. For anyone who's into the sports show, we're probably going to be doing a sports show tomorrow. Big fights going on this weekend. We got UFC in Madison Square Garden, and we have Conor Benn versus Chris Eubanks Jr. 2. That should actually be pretty good, I think. I think that'll be a pretty decent fight. You never know who's going to win. If I mean, a lot of people here, if they're into gaming content and no boxing, we don't know what's going to happen in that fight. But I predict that, look, if Chris Eubanks isn't dehydrated like he was in the first fight, he's probably going to beat Conor Benn even worse. I mean, that was a battle of attrition in a lot of ways, the first fight. But Chris Eubanks, even though he was kind of throwing, they were both going at it. Chris Eubanks is a little more craft to his game. So I think if he's not dehydrated, he might have a little more pep in his step. He might land, some cleaner shots and possibly even take Conor Benn out. I don't know. But it's going to be a pretty good fight, and it's happening this Saturday. All right. And they're going to be doing the weigh-ins tomorrow. And we'll probably be doing a coverage of that. But right now, we're going to be talking about video games. All right. I know some people out there that don't like video games. I love video games, people. I feel like sometimes I talk about them more than I actually play them. Okay, 1 second. Gonna see my chat is not working correctly. Oh, actually, I got to connect it. What the F? 1 second, people. Just plugging in the chat phone. The Foo phone. Actually, it's the Bob phone. 1 second. Got a lot of shit running over here. All right, so there it is. I actually got to make that phone a little bigger. 1 second. Got to do some technical shit over here. Got to fix this phone. Can't see the text. I looked at it earlier. It looks good on my screen, but on people's cell phones, they might not be able to see that text. All right, 1 moment. Just going to fix it up before we analyze some of this trash. All right. 1 second. Where the hell is... Okay. Got to look for this damn phone. Where the F is this phone? 1 second, people. You're going to see this phone go up and down. It's going to be a little weird. I know, it's a little scary. Okay, let's go, phone. Where are you? There you are. Just going to make this phone a little bigger so the text is easier to read. All right, so we got the El Barbarino in there. All right, she's saying, hi, Quentin, sup, Foo, more Xbox hate. Yeah. I mean, that's every day. I'm just pointing it out because I just find it to be disgusting. I mean, why can't just leave Xbox alone? And I know they're a multi-trillion-dollar company, people, but the Xbox division I mean, they're actually making a lot of money, the Xbox division. I just think it's funny, these stupid hot takes. I just think they're really retarded. All right, so we're going to be going over that. All right. We got a guy over here that we love to examine because he's just so full of shit. I don't know if he's just a troll or maybe this is just the way he gets clicks by just being a dishonest prick. I'm just not a fan of it. I mean, look, if you're going to analyze the industry, at least do it correctly, right? All right, so the guy, the name of his channel is Smash JT. That's kind of a weird thing to say, right? Because usually, you know, they say that men smash things, you know, when it comes to sexual stuff. But JT's a guy. I mean, I don't think women ever say they smash anything. So this guy, JT, wants a guy to smash him. All right, with that said, people, before we get into it, remember to subscribe to The Real Food TV, the great channel on demand. You're watching Food Gaming Live, all right? This is full coverage of trolls on the internet, right? Trolls in the gaming industry. Bunch of clickbaiters. Maybe that's what it is. Or maybe they're just really retarded and they don't, they just spew diarrhea of the mouth. All right, we're going to analyze some of this.
Phil Spencer is coping pretty hard right now, and he's getting chewed out by gamers left and right because people see right through what's happening right now. And Steam is eating Microsoft's lunch with their announcement of the Steam hardware.
I just got to tell you, people, that's absolutely retarded. That's a very retarded thing to say. How are they eating their lunch when they don't even have nearly as much money as the Xbox division? Just so you guys know, in 2024 alone, the Xbox division, not all of Microsoft, the gaming division, they made over $21 billion. That in 1 year, they made more money than Steam is worth. Steam as a company isn't even worth $20 billion. These guys made that in 1 year. And that year was last year. But they're done. They're dead. Steam is eating their lunch.
And the first thing Phil Spencer does is quote tweets to congratulate them and be like, oh, this is
and great. This guy always has this dumbass, like, smug smile, like as if he does this stupid ass faces somehow that makes his points like more, like it adds weight to the stupid things he says. Phil Spencer, as you can see in this comment here, people, he's happy that Valve's coming in there. These guys actually have a very friendly relationship. Xbox and Valve, they've had a relationship for decades now. They were, I think, when they got the orange box, they got like the best version. I don't know if there was some kind of technical espionage there or something, but that game, the orange box, ran better on the Xbox. And going back, I mean, Valve built Half-Life 2 on the OG Xbox. That was the only console they built it for. I mean, they could have pared it down probably and got it to run on a PS2, but you know, the guys didn't have a relationship like that. So it was only on the only console that had Half-Life 2 at the time when it was released back in 2024, not 2024, back I think it was 2004, was the Xbox, the OG Xbox. So these guys had a relationship for a while. And Phil Spencer's happy with this because you got to keep in mind, they sell software. Xbox is big into the software market now. And so if they're going to be bringing these Steam boxes to people's homes, that's just more sales, right? Because most likely these systems will be purchased by people who play consoles. So that just helps the Xbox make more money. And these guys, they don't care anymore, people. They don't care about this whole console war shit. They don't. These guys are going to make money. This move is actually good for them, if anything. And just putting this console in the market pushes people more towards the, what do you call it? The hybrid console. That's becoming the norm. And believe it or not, but the hybrid console is actually bad for Sony and Nintendo because their business model revolves around the closed system, right? Around keeping you on their boxes, and they make all that royalty money. When you take that royalty money from them, that chips away at their infrastructure, and now they have to be held up on what I've been saying on this channel many, many times, that the future of gaming is in software and services. And Sony and Nintendo don't offer really any real service when it comes to gaming. There's no Game Pass there. They're not bringing a third-party day one to a service where you spend 20 or 30 bucks a month and you get it day one, right? They're not doing that. They're not giving you free upgrades or any of this stuff. They're nickel and diming you for everything. They're ripping you off. Nintendo with their $70 Super Mario Galaxy with DRM and their $90 fucking Mario Kart. I mean, come on. Sony over here, they don't even make software anymore. Like, people have not noticed this. These guys really don't even make games. They just feed off of third party. So once again, once you start opening up the closed system, these guys start losing one of their main sources of income, which is licensing fees. They're not getting most of their money from first party. They're getting it from licensing fees. So once again, when you open the market up and it becomes what they call a hybrid console, that chips away at their bottom line. And the Xbox is fine with that because once again, the future is in services and software, and the Xbox has loads of software. They actually have more software, probably more software than, well, for sure they have more software than Valve, but they have more software than Sony and Nintendo combined. People won't believe that, but name some of the biggest hitters that Sony's got, and tell me if they got games that are bigger than Fallout, right? They got games bigger than Fallout, bigger than Doom, bigger than Halo, bigger than Call of Duty. The list just goes on and on. They got World of Warcraft. They got a lot of effing software at Xbox, people. A lot. These guys could live off of the software they have. They really can. So they're totally fine with Valve putting out a box that's going to help Xbox move more software. And possibly, maybe they might put Game Pass on it. Who knows?
This is so amazing for the gaming community. He says, gaming moves forward when players and developers have more ways to play and create, especially across open platforms. Expanding access across PC, console, and handheld devices reflects a future built on choice. By the way, Phil, you lost me, bro.
It's just disgusting the fact that he doesn't actually analyze a statement. He just comes up with some made up, he just makes everything up. He doesn't actually read what the man is saying. Good video called The Xbox Hate Has Been Disgusting. You should check out. Yeah, man, it's been disgusting for years. I remember Bob bought me an Xbox One many years ago, and I was happy. It was a gift, and I liked the Xbox. I liked the Xbox going back to the first one. I don't like Bill Gates. I despise the guy. But the people that run the Xbox division, I think, seem to be pretty cool dudes, and you could tell that they love gaming, right? And they do a lot of stuff for game preservation, and they do a lot of stuff for indies. They do a lot of stuff when it comes to gaming to help the gaming community, right? Free upgrades and so on, right? These other guys nickel and dime you. It's disgusting. I never understood why they get so much hate. Now, I'm not a fan of the DRM, but they're all doing DRM. Steam is doing DRM. Sony, Nintendo, all of them. These guys were the only guys that tried to like slow the transition and make it a less painful transition, right? Where they were making it where GameStop would get the game and then the publisher would take a cut of the used game sales. Believe it or not, that would have slowed the transition towards digital only. But these guys they all went all crazy and said, fuck that. We don't want any DRM. And what's funny is in the end, the transition came quicker. And these guys, they went and they shit on the Xbox and they went and they bought a PS4, right? That has DRM. And then they went and they purchased all their games on Steam, which is all DRM. It just doesn't make any sense. Is Xbox doing the VR thing? From what I heard, they're not. I don't know if you guys know this, but there were studies done years back that said that VR can actually be bad for your brain. They did some studies for kids. They actually suggested that kids don't even use that in their younger years. There could be some negative side effects to it. And that's why they stepped away from it. But when you see guys like Sony coming into it, I guess they didn't see the studies. Xbox's thing was actually augmented reality. That's what they were getting into. But they're not getting into VR from what I hear. It is weird, people. I don't know if you played a lot of VR, but a few years ago I was playing VR and it starts to warp your brain. It really does. At one point, my brain, like I didn't even know what was, and my brain I think was confused a little bit because I was playing a lot of Half-Life Alyx, and that game looks very realistic. I think it just happened initially in the very beginning when I played VR, where my brain felt like, because I'll tell you this, look, in the Quest, they have this kind of weird graphic where if you push forward and you go out of the play zone, you see like a grid that pops up, right? And that kind of, I guess, in the way it breaks the fourth wall and it reminds you that you're in a simulation. But I remember at one point, I'm like in the real world and I'm thinking I'm going to put my hand out and there's going to be like this grid that pops up. It's not that I was thinking, it's that my brain got confused. When I played this stuff for a while, it wasn't even like me thinking of it. It's just a weird disconnect you have. The more I played it, it went away. But initially, it kind of warps your brain slightly. It's actually kind of scary. Because I don't know if you guys played a lot of VR, but I played very high level VR. That looks very realistic. And I mean, it gets to the point that when you're playing these games, you like step out of the play zone, you jump out. Like in Half-Life Alyx, they have like these giant like crab things or something that come after you. I'm playing this shit. I'm almost like jumping. Like I think they're actually going to attack me. Like my brain just thinks that they're going to attack me. So I'm doing stuff like flailing my arms around to like hit these things. Like I think my brain thinks they're like real or something. I don't have it now. Not anymore. But I stepped away from that VR stuff. So I'm just saying that could be dangerous to a child's brain playing that. And I think that's one of the big reasons they stepped away from it. Just saying. That stuff can warp your brain if you're not built for it, I think.
This guy used to at least pretend to be a gamer. This is all corpo jargon, corpo speak. Like what even is this?
And you see what he says? It's just all bullshit. It's corporate jargon. I'm going to read this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to move the phone for a second, guys. All right, it says gaming moves forward when players and developers have more ways to play and create, especially across open platforms. You see, like I said, this is an open platform. This is what they call a hybrid console. Open platforms. Valve is doing what Microsoft is doing. And what these guys don't understand is these guys are no threat to Xbox. They're not. Like I said, software and services is the future. Valve, all they really have is a very smooth interface. That's good. They have a site that has a lot of software on it, and that's cool. But the Xbox has that too. They might not have as many titles on there, but they could always add loads of titles. But so look, they don't. This isn't a big problem for them. All right. Like I said, the more that these hybrid consoles come out, the more it chips away at the old gaming infrastructure, which was to have a closed system, right? This hybrid console it's actually really gonna open up the market, and it is only good for consumers, right? Because right now, like I have my Steam Deck and I have this Valve Ally, and with the Steam Deck, I'm going out there and I'm downloading games that aren't on any of these services. I got this game called The Syndicate and Escape from Butcher Bay. It's an older game from 2000. I think it was 2012, somewhere around there. Awesome games, awesome. And I'm playing those. Those don't even exist on any of these systems outside of the PS3 and the OG Xbox. But I'm playing the PC version. The thing's 4K, 140 frames or whatever, and it looks great. And it's an amazing FPS game. Those are two amazing FPS games. And the only reason I can access them is because I have hybrid consoles. Now I have a PC, but these are consoles. These are console experiences. And so I welcome this. That's awesome to be able to put a box like this by the TV and play my Xbox games on there or Sony or whatever. That ease of use. This is the future. And it isn't just about it's playing Steam games. It's about the fact that it's a hybrid console. And this only helps Xbox and chips away at the old way that gaming systems and consoles worked.
Stop it. Core values that have guided Xbox's vision from.
All right, what is DRM? DRM is it's a sort of code they put on these discs that it's a digital rights management. So what it does is that they back in the day, you used to have a code on there, and you would get each game would have a code. So you couldn't sell it unless you had the code. It doesn't allow you to really copy games. That's one thing. And it keeps all the money in-house. Except these guys can sell these games still. But that has to do with the, what do you call it? People can still sell these games because once you sell the disc, now you don't have the license anymore. It's kind of a complicated thing to explain, but basically it's a way for these publishers to keep all the money for them, right? That's really what it is. But it stands for digital rights management. And so one of the ways they do it to keep control over these titles is that they do an online check-in. So if you don't have an internet connection, none of the games you own, and you actually in reality don't own any of them. You don't, because if you don't have that online check-in, the software doesn't work anymore. Like that's one of my problems with DRM is the fact that you don't own anything anymore, right? Like I can understand piracy. Like you shouldn't be copying these discs and selling them, right? Or copying your disc And then, you copy the game and then you sell it to like GameStop, and then they go and they sell it. And then they don't give the publisher any of that money. That's kind of a problem. So what these guys have done now is they've made it where it's, for the most part, all digital. This is what they're going towards. This is why they're taking the disc drives off these consoles. The PC's already there. They're taking the disc drive off. So now everything comes through the internet, through sites like Steam or, whatever digital storefront. The other ones, there's like Epic Game Store and so on. And so those all have DRM, where you purchase the title and now you have to have that online check-in, right? But in reality, it hasn't really changed that much outside of they're getting a stronghold on the money, on what the money they're getting, right? Where before a lot of their money was lost through through used game sales. This was the big problem, was used game sales. GameStop was making like $1 billion a year or more, and all that money was coming straight from the creators of these games. Right? They weren't getting a cut of that. And I think that's one of the big issues. And that's why they accelerated DRM. But in the end, one of the biggest reasons for DRM to be around is for these guys to have a stronghold over their products, over their games, over their IPs. But it's an issue because now we have no ownership. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest problem. Like, we can't own what we purchased because you motherfuckers are that greedy. But it is an issue. That used game stuff was really destroying the industry. A lot of companies went under because of the used game market, right? That was one of the issues. They couldn't make any money off of this. But it's just crazy. I'm not a fan of it because I think people should be able to own what they purchase. This whole thing of that you need to be connected to the internet, it's always been a problem with me. And everybody complained about it when the Xbox was talking about it. And they were open with it. That's the one thing I can respect about them, is that they actually had the balls to come out and tell the consumers, this is what we want to do, right? And they were trying to give them some things because this was coming about, right? This is where the industry was going. And so they said, you know what? It's got DRM, but we're going to make it where you can put your disc in the system. We're going to do the check-ins, and now you can install your games. You don't have to keep popping the discs in there. That was just one of the things they were doing. And I think they were doing something called like family share, where you'd be able to buy a disc and share it with people in your family and spread it around like through people connected to your account. There was all kinds of things that we're going to do, and everybody cried about it. So in the end, all we got was DRM, but without any of the benefits of whatever we can get from DRM. To me, it's all negative. It really is. I mean, back in the day, you got a 360. The standard was that you just pop the disc in the system, and that disc you pop the disc in the system, and the game would just start instantaneously. It was a standard from the older consoles. Nowadays, you buy the game from the store, and then you pop it in the system. You got to wait for it to install. In some cases, these games take like an hour, 2 hours, like for Red Dead Redemption. And then in the end, you don't even own the game. Like, why do I have a disc if I don't own the game? Like, it just seems stupid. But yeah, DRM is just digital rights management. And the whole purpose for it is just for them to take every penny and to cut out the middleman. That's what they've done now. They've cut out for the most part, they've cut out GameStop. They've cut out all the mom and pop shops. And once they pull the drive off those systems permanently, you're going to see all the different game retailers go under. There's a lot of things wrong with DRM.
From the start. As one of the largest publishers.
But the way people made it out is like the Xbox created DRM. They didn't. DRM's been around for a long time. I saw DRM was around in the late 90s, from what I remember. Right? I remember when I was a kid, I bought the game Half-Life, the first one, and that had DRM on it already. That was like in 1999.
On Steam, we welcome new options for players to access games everywhere. Way to make it about yourself, Phil.
Yeah, it's all negative, right? He's a big piece of shit. That's the Riddick game, Escape from Butcher Bay. The sequel, Attack on Dark Athena, is good too. Yeah, man, they're awesome. Those are awesome games. And they did an amazing job with that Doom engine. To me, that's the best looking Doom 3 engine game. Like, I don't understand why they stopped using the Doom 3 engine. The thing runs like amazingly. They should have used that engine even now. They should have still been using that.
Because you couldn't do this, so you just got to try to make it about yourself. Congrats on today's announce. I think you meant announcement. To which I replied, this could.
Oh my man! What? Oh my God! What a gotcha moment! I think he meant announcements.
Have been you guys, but lack of vision and leadership led to someone else picking up the slack. And
sounds a bit retarded considering the fact that they have the Xbox Ally X and Ally that's out right now, which is a hybrid console, and it's already out. Okay? So he's saying, it's just stupid. Look, what are you even talking about, bro? They lack the vision. This is literally their vision, what Valve is doing. And the Xbox has already executed on it. You can go to a Walmart right now, people, and in the Xbox section of the Walmart, you see Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, and guess what's sitting right next to those systems? The Xbox Ally. It's right there in the Xbox aisle. And guess what? When you link that up to your TV, that is a hybrid console. It runs what they call the Xbox, Xbox Experience. It's basically a Xbox console experience, and it's out already.
Gotten a lot of people that have on board with that, actually. I thought I'd get a lot more pushback, but John Gasdolli says, this is final nail for Xbox consoles. It will play all their games without having to deal with Microsoft and cost less than that
They said it's going to cost less. Watch this. It's so dumb.
PC Microsoft will call a console next gen. Yep. 100%. We already had.
Yep. 100%. So they're saying that it's going to cost less. Got to keep in mind, people, Digital Foundries did an analysis of this piece of tech. And actually, it's not as powerful as an Xbox Series X. The rumor is that not even as powerful as a PS5, the baseline PS5. And for people who don't know, sorry, 1 second, people. Got the wrong folder open. All right. For people who don't know, the Xbox Series X is actually more powerful than the PlayStation 5, the baseline PS5. 1 second. I think I loaded some files into the wrong folder. That's great. A moment. I mixed I think I might have mixed my sports show with the game show. Great. 1 second. I'm just getting some files together over here. All right. So, I'm looking through some of these files. I had some information here because they said that Valve Steam Machine. 1 moment. Valve Steam Machine is beating up. All right. So there's a lot of this dumb shit going around. Valve Steam Machine is beating Xbox at its own game. How is that happening when this system hasn't even been released yet? You see how these guys just talk out their ass? And that's a mainstream media site, all right? They beat them already. So these guys have already decided that the Xbox has already been defeated, which isn't going to happen because these guys made a $70 billion acquisition. I said yesterday that alone will keep them relevant for decades to come. I mean, they have loads of very popular IPs, and that just the Activision acquisition alone has brought them some of the biggest games in the world.
Phil Spencer.
1 second. Got the same video open twice. I'm looking for this. It's a spite selling. Okay. All right. I'll show this because this kind of makes sense to what they're talking about. It's relevant to it. So the Xbox, if you guys don't notice, the Xbox actually made in 2024, they made $21.5 billion. All right. That's in 1 year. Valve is worth, from what I heard, around at the most $16 billion. These guys in 1 year made more money than Valve is worth as a company. Okay? So to say that Valve is eating their lunch and that this is their last console is retarded. All right? All right, so we looked at that. I got some... Okay. I'm still looking for this article. Okay, here it is. So they're saying that, this thing is going to eat the Xbox alive and all that. Keep in mind, people, they're saying that this system here, this Valve Steam machine, might actually cost as much as $1,000. I do not think this is going to sell anywhere near to as well as the Xbox Series consoles. You guys don't know, the Xbox Series X, actually, I found this out today. The Xbox Series X was the highest selling Xbox console this generation. I'm surprised by that because, I thought it would be the Series S, but it's not. And the fact that people were willing to spend that $500 for the X shows you that most likely they're going to be buying the high-end new Xbox. And they're willing to spend that higher amount of money because they want a higher level of graphics and fidelity and so on. So this is probably why I'm hearing that the next Xbox is going to be ridiculously powerful. Okay? The problem with Sony, because Sony just put out a PS5 Pro, the problem with that is that really is not a real leap in advancements in graphics or in anything. Not performance. There's a lot of games on there that are still running like 30 frames. It's pretty insane. All right, but we're going to go back to this video. Just wanted to show you this. I'll read a little bit of this. Give me 1 second. All right, we're going to read a little bit of this. It's pretty interesting. Say, are you ready for a $1,000 Steam machine? Some analysts think you should be. All right, so they're going to release 2 SKUs of this Xbox Steam machine. I wish they had it, not Xbox, Valve Steam machine. They should really call it like, I don't know what the hell they're calling it. It's just the Valve box, the Valve game GameCube. All right, I just made that up myself. All right, so in this article, there's some analysts that are predicting how much it's going to cost. They said at the high end of those guesses, an analyst like, wait, give me 1 second. Okay, there's a guy named Michael Futter who expects a starting price of $800 to $900 for the entry 512 gigabyte Steam machine and a whopping $1,000 for the 2 terabyte version. So there's a 512 version and a 2 terabyte version. I didn't know that. I thought there was only one. And so all these analysts are making different guesses. There's another analyst that's saying it's going to be around $550 to $750 for the 2 terabyte. That's still as expensive as a PlayStation 5, around the same price, and the Xbox Series console. It may be a little cheaper, but they're saying it might be. Their predictions are saying $800 to $1,000. Okay, they're saying at the low number it's going to be around $800 to $900. So they're all over the place with these numbers, but most of the predictions are that it's going to be around $800 to $1,000. Okay, so with that number, there's almost no chance at all that this is going to outsell this Xbox and the PlayStation, because first of all, Valve is not a huge name in console gaming. Now they're big in PC gaming, but in the console world, they're not. The Steam Deck sold less than 6 million units in 3 years, right? In over 3 years. While the Xbox Series consoles, the biggest seller was a $500 console, the Xbox Series X. That in less than 5 years sold over 30 million units. They're gaining on almost 40 million units now, the Xbox Series consoles. So this idea that they're just going to kill off the Xbox is just, it's this guy's like their death wish for the Xbox. I see the same thing when it comes to EA, where people just want to hate EA. Like EA, in my book, puts out quality products. They do. So what's all this hate? What's all this hate for? I don't get it. They're over here sucking Sony's balls all day and Nintendo. But Nintendo's just recycling Super Mario forever. How many Mario Karts do we need? Can these guys innovate ever? Can they really? The millionth Zelda game? Can they ever make anything? Then you got Sony over here. They literally aren't putting out software. Now people, I remember back one generation ago, in the Xbox One generation, they kept saying Xbox has no games. Now they have loads of games, and now people still hating. They're still hating while Sony has nothing. They're repackaging the same games over and over again. And I bet you when the PS6 comes out, the first games you're going to see is fucking Ghost of Tsushima 8K or Ghost of Tsushima 4K at 120 frames, and they're going to charge you another $70 for it. It's pathetic. And then they're going to re-release Last of Us with a new engine. It's going to be the same fucking game with a new engine. I bet you they're going to do that. They're going to re-release all this shit again. But it ain't going to work for them, because these guys are going to have their hybrid console. It's going to have all kinds of software, tons of services. You know, all these new games on there. Xbox will be putting out all this new software, and Sony's going to most likely be recycling the same shit.
Sarah Bond going on in an interview trying to mentally prep gamers for more expensive consoles, and Xbox raising their prices of everything to
now he's saying Xbox raising their prices. Keep in mind, everyone's raising their prices. The prices of electronics are going up, and then you add the tariffs to that. There's a reason why all these guys are bringing their prices up. Okay, it isn't just, I don't know why this guy's saying Xbox, and I've said it many times. You got to put it into context. Sony has a garbage service that they charge $20 for. Xbox is putting Call of Duty on there day and date. Like right now, I'm installing Call of Duty Black Ops 7 on my computer. That game costs $70 in the store. I'll be playing that today or tomorrow. I already have it. What is Sony doing? And you got to keep in mind, Black Ops 7 is a multi-$100 million production. They're putting that in the hands of the players day one without spending $70. Sony doesn't do this and Nintendo doesn't do this, okay? They don't. They don't have an option for you to be playing. Even Nintendo, they don't have an option to play the HD version or the Ultra HD version of Mario Galaxy. No, they charge their consumers $70. They say take it or leave it. That's it. Where Xbox has options. If you want to purchase Call of Duty, you can do that. But if you want to pay this sum of money and get 400 games plus first day games on day one, then we have an option for that too. These fucking people crying about options. How pathetic can you be? This company sucks. They're giving me options. How dare you? The only options I like are trannies. Women are trannies. I think this guy would choose trannies. He looks like he would.
It seemed like this is just the direction it's all going. And while we don't know the cost yet for the Steam machine or what
I just showed you, it's looking like it's going to be really high. We're talking about in the $800 to $1,000 territory. And I thought it looked cool. But I'll tell you this. I got a PC that's in my living room already. And it's more powerful than this Steam Deck, than this Steam box here. So I was thinking about, oh, this is kind of cool. I kind of want one. But if that thing's super expensive, no, thank you.
Valve is planning on doing with the VR and anything that they're making, I would imagine it's going to cost less than whatever the hell Microsoft is making. Because
you see how they all keep harping on Microsoft. They just keep on harping on it. It's gonna be cheaper than what Microsoft is coming out with. Yeah, it might be, it might not be. Because Microsoft is a ridiculously rich company that can subsidize the hardware. They can sell it to you at a loss. They really could. They could sell you some fucking crazy hardware. And they might actually do that. They might get aggressive and say, we really want to own the market. We want to get control over this whole hybrid console thing. So we're going to release this monster console, and we're going to charge you $600. Right? It wouldn't shock me if they did that. It depends on if that whole tariffs thing is going to be gone by then. It might be. But my prediction is they're going to sell the console around 500. Possibly they might meet Sony's price with the PS5 Pro and sell their super high-end hybrid console for around $700 to $800.
Bond said it was going to be something that was expensive. This doesn't strike me as that. Like, it strikes me as it's going to cost money.
Yeah, he just wants to fit his little agenda, right? It's all a big trend for these guys to rag on the Xbox. They got their little fan club. I'd love to get it, like, have an interview with these pricks and say, like, why do you hate it? Why is it any worse than this PlayStation? And in reality, PlayStation's not on the level of the Xbox. One has a lot of value, the other one doesn't. I got a PS5 here. I like the thing, but I like it to play PS4 games on it. It's got no games. None. I'm still working on God of War Ragnarok. It's that game, people. I just can't get through it. The game is just kind of trash. And I really liked the first God of War reboot. I cannot get through Ragnarok. It's just this dead, empty world with these annoying characters. Like, why is this world so empty? It's just the boy, and then this guy, and then this fucking talking head. And it was all cute in the first game that you had like this empty, dead world. But now we're in another one. It's the same shit. I called it the kayak simulator. It's like you're in this damn kayak the whole damn game. And there's almost nothing happening. You're fighting frogs. This shit's kind of stupid. It's like, how did you fuck this up this bad? You started out with this really cool reboot, and now this fucking kid is so annoying. Like, the game is just a mess. They're calling it Dad of War. The best thing Sony could do for the next God of War is kill off the kid character, get rid of him, and put Kratos by himself. That's it. Or make Kratos young again and go back to the young Kratos and start from kind of like, maybe have the same perspective, but build it where it's more similar to the original God of War games, where it was this over-the-top action, fucking awesome spectacle, right? This kind of like, he's kind of angsty character, and it build on that. Not this whole, I'm grizzled and old. Like, bro, like, what? We're supposed to look at this as like the end of Kratos' life or something? This shit is like all dark. Stupid. The original games were like, you know, gritty and like over the top, kind of aggressive and like fun, right? This new game is like so dramatic. My God. All right, so we got Dark in the comments. He says that the 64 gigabyte of RAM I bought in May was $238 and is now $400 plus, all because of fucking AI bullshit. Yeah, man, this stuff's getting really expensive. I was saying it in the show I did yesterday that right now I could sell my Xbox Series X and actually make the exact same amount of money that we got it for initially. It came out 5 years ago, and I could sell it right now for $500. For exactly for what it cost, and people would actually buy it because it's actually, I would be giving them a deal, because in the store with the tax, right, with the tax and that extra money, I think right now it costs like $600 or something, or $550 somewhere. I think it's actually around $600. So people would actually buy that system for me, and I've never seen that happen before. Usually within 5 years, we're coming to the end of the life cycle of the console, and the value of it drops, significantly. It would be like, I'd probably get like, I'd have to sell it for like $300, and then somebody might buy it. Maybe it might actually would be less back in the day, because the sweet spot for consoles that are aging back in the day would be somewhere around, to sell it would be like $100 or $200 at the most I would make for it. But right now, I could sell it for the same price I purchased it for. All right. I beat Ragnarok, the GOW, before it was better. The God of War before it was better. Yeah, man, I could beat it. I'm going to get around to it again, but it's a hard play, man. That Ragnarok, maybe it picks up, but right now I'm struggling with it. Every time I play it, I'm like, I like the combat. It's kind of cool. But the story's kind of like, right now, what I'm experiencing, the story's kind of garbage. The environments are kind of boring. I just feel like it seems like it has the feeling like it's a DLC for God of War, the first, for that reboot. Like, this could have been a DLC that they made. It just doesn't feel like a real full flushed out game. Looks like something they just threw together.
I'm guessing somewhere around $800 might be a little bit high. Anything less than that, it's going to be a huge market disruption. Broken Messiah.
Fun fact, it's not going to be a market disruption at all. But I will agree that, and I've been saying this over and over again, that the hybrid console by itself will be a market disruption. That is the disruption, the hybrid console. But Valve, people, does not have the kind of pull that Xbox does in the console market. They don't. So the Xbox most likely with the hybrid console is going to be a big deal when people see this thing. You imagine you're going online and you see all these people playing all these games that don't even exist on, look, if Sony's not going to do this hybrid shit and Nintendo's not going to do it, you're going to see all kinds of videos and social media on YouTube and all that of people playing games that don't exist on the PlayStation or the Nintendo. And people are like, for example, the Syndicate, the game I got on my Ally right now, Syndicate, or even Butcher Bay. When people see that, they're like, wow, that's a cool game. You playing that on the new Xbox? Oh, I want to play that on my PlayStation. Oh, it's not there. Oh man, that Half-Life at 120 frames? I want to play that. The Half-Life 2, right? Or Half-Life VR, because keep in mind, you're going to be able to run VR. They haven't talked about that part. You're going to be able to run probably any VR helmet on your next hybrid Xbox console. You could run the Quest VR. You could even run the PlayStation VR on that thing. You're actually going to be able to run all kinds of VR stuff on there. No one's talked about that. So it's like, whoa, you're playing like, what is that? Oh, you're playing that Half-Life 2? A Half-Life 2 VR? Oh, you're playing Half-Life Alyx at 100 and whatever. Like, people, you're going to be able to do so much stuff with that new console.
I says, seriously, you would think.
It's, like I said, if Sony doesn't follow this, they're going to be fucked. But if they do follow it, most likely they're going to need Windows to power their hybrid console. So that's funny, isn't it?
They would have gotten ahead of all this with announcing their.
People will say, oh, they'll just use Linux. Yeah, good luck with that when nothing runs properly. I've had a Steam Deck for about 3 years now, and Call of Duty still doesn't run on it. So Sony's going to it's going to be really smart of them to run a Linux system. You know how many games are not going to run on there?
Device. Exactly. And then we have other people. Good Lord, JT. They are working on theirs. Hopefully announced next summer. I understand that, dude. My comment says your lack of vision and leadership led to someone else doing it now. They did it now.
They're already doing it, buddy. They're already doing it. They're so stupid. And it doesn't even make any sense because look, he's saying they're doing it now. He's saying Valve's doing it right now, right? The hybrid console. But last time I checked, that Steam box, this thing right here, isn't out. That comes out next year. But what's out right now is this thing called the Xbox Ally. It's already on store shelves. I see it every time I go to Walmart. I see it. I own one. I own the Ally X. Okay? And that's the only place you can find what they call the Xbox Experience. It's only on those devices. That's Xbox's Windows version of Big Picture Mode. Very similar to Steam's Big Picture Mode, except it's got a little more features in it. One of the things it does is that it takes all your different storefronts and it puts them all together in like a Big Picture Mode kind of thing. It also takes all the titles, all the games you buy from different storefronts, they go all into the Xbox Experience. So when you open the thing, there it is. It's got games from GOG, Steam. They're all there, all together.
We waiting for next summer. We have it now. What is it? What is Microsoft doing that's going to be better than this?
Again, I'm just going to say it one more time. He says we have it now. This isn't out now, but the Xbox Ally is. So this guy is an idiot.
And more affordable than this. What are they doing?
He says it's more affordable. Come on. They're saying this thing $800 to $1,000. They're saying that's not going to be more affordable. Okay, there's people out there right now saying this is the Xbox Series S killer. No, it ain't gonna happen. You're talking about a system that's most likely, if the tariffs are gonna, I'm hearing that the Supreme Court might shut down these tariffs. So if that happens before this thing comes out, then you're gonna see the Xbox Series S possibly go down to a $250, $200, right? You might see that, or it might just go back down to $300. So while this thing here might be $800 to $1,000, the Series S will be $200. All right. So what are they going to buy? You know, a lot of people's budgets, they can't buy an expensive device like this.
Love to see it. And even if you could say it is better because it has better specs or whatever, is it going to be more affordable, more versatile, more flexible with the games you already own, not just Microsoft ecosystem games, but Steam games across all the publishers in the land?
1 second, that's gone to commercial. He's talking about flexibility. I'll tell you this. The Xbox Experience is more flexible than the Steam Deck. I really like the Steam Deck. It's a really great system, but guess what? It's not very intuitive when it comes to putting all those different storefronts in there. You have to go download third-party software. On the Xbox side, they make it very easy to download all the different storefronts. Epic Store. I mean, the device literally has Steam loaded into it. The Xbox Ally actually has Steam in the device already preloaded. All right? It's already there. And then if you want to get GOG and all that software is native. As soon as you load it in, it goes in, boom, it's all in the Xbox Experience. You can access it very easily. There's no downloading third-party shit in order to run that stuff. Okay? On the Steam Deck, you have to do all kinds of dumb shit. You got to download all these weird third-party softwares, and you got to like add the software to Steam, and you got to do all kinds of steps in order to get it in there. And a lot of people don't want to do that. It's actually simpler through the Xbox. But this guy doesn't know about that because he's a fucking troll. And he doesn't care to know. He's just a loudmouth on the internet that wants to feed a bunch of these cornballs who don't know what the hell they're talking about. What's up, man?
Back and forth, people pushing back and forth on it. But I do think it's fascinating that Phil
We got
Spencer
SGT in there. He says, yo, what's up, man?
is trying to get ahead of it, to be like, yes.
Well, you guys want to see some flops? Like, give me 1 second. I'll show you this. Because a lot of these guys, they like to build up PlayStation, right? Okay, here's your PlayStation VR. Absolute flop over here, people. It's flopped. It's what they put out a couple of pieces of hardware. The stuff's not doing that well. It's really not. I'm going to read a little bit of this right now. It says the PSVR 2 news confirms a painful truth about the PlayStation 5's biggest failure. The PlayStation VR 2 launched in February 2023 has faced significant challenges since its release. Despite Sony's hopes for a new era of console VR, the PSVR 2 may mark the end of a shaky experiment. Reports indicate that the headset only sold 600,000 units in its first 6 weeks, and that shipments have fallen every quarter since every quarter since Sony launched. All right. So it says Sony has halted production due to a surplus of unsold units, and the headset's controller might be a selling point, but not at the headset's price. The PS VR2 is priced at $550 on top of the $500. This is written very poorly. $500 already paid for the PS5, making it an expensive luxury item. The PS VR2 is tied to the PlayStation game. Blah 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 blah. All right. So it's a failure, people. The PSVR is a failure. And that's not the only thing. The new PlayStation 5 Pro is actually not selling either. Right? It's not doing as well as what they wanted it to be. There it is. PS5 Pro is not selling out primarily due to its high price point of $700. You got to keep in mind what's funny, people, is that it's actually even more expensive than that. I see it at GameStop. It's actually it's close to $800 now. This is when it first came out. It says the price point $700, which has led to softer demand compared to previous models. This is actually underselling the PS4 Pro. This is not selling as well as the PS4 Pro. All right, so this is kind of a flop. There's another flop, and that's really not a good thing for Sony to be putting out all this hardware, and it's all just going to sit on store shelves. It's not going to make shit. Okay, this is terrible news for Sony. But these guys want to keep going on and on and on about how they keep harping on Xbox is going to die. Xbox is dead. When Sony is just hemorrhaging money. It costs a lot of money to put out one of those consoles, people. There's a reason why they're charging almost $800 for that unit, for that console, because that thing costs money to produce, a good amount of money. It costs more money to produce that than a PS5, a baseline one. Now, Xbox, they weren't stupid. They stuck to their S and their Series X, and that was it. There's no stupid, mid-cycle refresh shit. Right?
I'm part of this. Like, no, you're not, bro. No, you're not. You've been failing gamers for the better part of the past.
Yeah, Quentin says PlayStation's dying. Dude, Quentin, I've been telling people, I'm telling them over and over again, they don't see that the writing's on the wall. I put money that Xbox is going to be the one at the top of the heap at the end of all this, because they're forward thinking. They're the ones coming out with the hybrid console. They're the ones opening the market. They're the ones that covered all their bases, buying up all these software companies, because they knew that the future and the way to broaden the audience is in software and services. That's it. And if you guys see it, I looked up some other numbers today. Even though the Xbox is sold, they're approaching like 40 million units sold. PlayStation sold something, I think they're close to 100 million. But the funny part is that Xbox, even with that amount of sold units, they're actually making like almost equal money or more than Sony in the gaming world. That's crazy. I saw that Game Pass, they said in one concurrently, right? Users in like on a month, and I don't know how they're doing these calculations, but they're saying they're having something like 150 million users on Game Pass. People, that's more people than consoles that they sold. That's more people than own PlayStation consoles. Like PS5 didn't even sell 150 units. So they have 150 million people on Game Pass. That's a big deal. That's a lot of money that they're getting. All right? So that's what I'm saying. It's about software and services. And their plan is to put Game Pass on everything. They want Game Pass on Steam. They want it on Nintendo. They want it on the PlayStation. They want it everywhere. And from what I've heard, one of the things they want to do is they're going to let Sony have games like Call of Duty and so on, right? But they said that because they had to make a deal with the Foreign Trade Commission in order to purchase Activision. But I heard that as soon as this is over and they have that time that they have to keep it on the PlayStation, once that's done, they're going to make a deal with Sony. They're going to say either you take Game Pass, and if you don't, we're going to take these games off your system. And I think that's totally fair, because the whole reason why they were forced to put Call of Duty on PlayStation is because PlayStation said that this would be incredibly damaging to their gaming division if they were able to pull that off the system. And so they made a deal with them. This is crazy. I think Xbox should have 100% sued the Foreign Trade Commission. They should have gone straight to the Supreme Court. Because who are they to tell a company that they cannot purchase in a capitalistic system that they can't purchase this company? Why was it not a problem when the Foreign Trade Commission didn't come in when Sony bought Bungie, right? They didn't come in. So why do these guys got to deal and have this huge trial and lose all this money, and then they're forced to put their games on the PlayStation, right? What is that about? They should be able to put their games wherever they want. These fucking people spent $70 billion. They should have the option of putting the game wherever the hell they like. But they forced them into putting it on PlayStation. It's crazy. You guys look it up. Look up the trial. It was insane. Like Sony was literally controlling the Foreign Trade Commission. That's some high-level corruption, people. All right, I still have my PlayStation 4 and PS4 Pro. PS5 has no games, only remasters and lame sequels. Yeah, I like the PS5, but I like it to play PS4 games on it. I just realized I bought a bunch of games over the last few years for my PlayStation 4 and 5. I barely played my PS4 games. I have so many of them. A lot of the Sony first party I wanted to play on PS5 because they ran like trash on the PS4, a lot of these. So I wanted to play them on that PS5. I got Ico? No, not Ico. I got Shadows of Colossus, and I got a bunch of them. I just realized that I have Last of Us the remake. I have it in. They're still in the plastic. I'm gonna play it at some point in the channel. I'm also gonna play The Last of Us 2, which I never got into. Want to see what all the hubbub is about. All right, so keep in mind that Xbox is made by Microsoft, so you know their next console you will be able to use Windows. Yeah, it's a hybrid console. Dempsey. I'm already using the Xbox experience on my Ally X. That's the same OS they're using in the new Xboxes. It's already been confirmed. Remember when PS4 Pro was $400? Yeah, it's crazy. The prices are so high now. It's insane.
5 years or so, yet you're still the head over there. I don't know. If I was in charge of you, I'd be having some serious conversations right now, and we'd be looking for a replacement. That's just me, though. We got Cabrutus, who says the next Xbox has just become obsolete before even being launched.
It's like a bunch of these fucking Xbox trolls. That's what this guy's channel was, and he reads comments from fucking trolls. The next Xbox has just become obsolete before even being launched. And how is it obsolete? Is it obsolete because it has an OS that's actually more streamlined than the Linux OS and the Steam Deck? Because this runs the same OS as the Steam Deck, which, again, I really like the Steam Deck. But the Xbox Ally OS is better. It's more streamlined. So obsolete. Why is it obsolete? Because it's more powerful. You know the next Xbox is gonna blow this thing out the fucking water, right? This system here is running on technology that is weaker than a PS5. So how are you gonna tell me that this is making the next Xbox obsolete when the next Xbox is gonna show off some Unreal Engine 5 shit that's gonna take a big old shit on this thing? I bet you. And again, it's a hybrid console. It's a better hybrid console than this one. Okay? And so I like a lot of the stuff Valve's doing here, but you got to keep in mind, you see that headset and that control there? Those will both work on the new Xbox. Okay? They'll both work because the Xbox with the hybrid console actually runs the Steam OS. It runs the big picture mode and all of it. I use it all the time on my Ally X. You hold down the Xbox button and it'll show a dual screen, and you'll have both the Steam OS, big picture mode Steam OS, and the Xbox big picture OS. And they go at the same time. You could swap back and forth through either one that you like. It's crazy. And then also, once again, all the titles you get in Steam, they pop up in the Xbox big picture experience. So it's actually more streamlined, once again, more streamlined than the Steam OS. It's just, in a lot of ways, it's more simple. So this guy just don't know what he's talking about. That's what it is. Just saying it's obsolete. I mean, what is this built on? The next Xbox has become obsolete. Like, how do you come to this dumb shit? How can a system that's more powerful be obsolete compared to a weaker one? Right? It doesn't make any sense, you fucking idiots.
Before even being launched. Well said. Noir says,
Well said, well said. Even though it's a load of shit. Well said, it's obsolete. Yeah, that's like saying the Xbox, that's like saying that the Switch 2 is obsolete versus the Switch 1. Like, what?
thank you, Steam. Now that Xbox has decided to stop competing seriously in the console market,
What's funny is that the new Steam box looks like the Xbox Series X, but it's like half the power of it, right? And it looks like it's an Xbox Series X chopped in half.
is what we needed. We cannot allow for PlayStation to be left unchecked. I would push back and say Xbox has quote unquote theoretically not stopped competing. They're supposedly working on something.
Again, it's just all troll comments. Now that the Xbox has decided to stop competing seriously in the console market. Yeah, they stopped trying to compete seriously. Yeah, that's why they acquired that's why they made a $70 billion acquisition, because they just don't care about gaming anymore. I mean, they're not committed. You know, they spent more money on that one acquisition than Valve is worth. I said it yesterday in another stream. Valve is worth $16 billion at the most. These guys just bought Valve. They bought Activision for $70 billion. Okay. Oh, but wait. The Steam machine is eating Xbox's lunch. The truth is that the Xbox could eat Valve. They could buy and sell Valve over and over and over again. Okay? They could. They probably won't, but don't be shocked if they do one day. They might actually buy Valve. Okay? And they would just basically brand, they probably just keep Steam. It'd be like Steam/Xbox. That's what they do.
Right now, but it's not available, and it may not be available for a while. Destin, who's I believe he's former IGN, he says Steam just beat Xbox to market.
And yeah, you see, it doesn't even make any sense. How did they beat them to market, you fucking idiots? The Xbox Ally X is already on store shelves. That's a hybrid console, right? This thing here is basically a console version of a what do you call it? Steam Deck, right? It's in some ways it's similar to what Sony put out years ago when they put out like a little box, right? And it was basically a Sony Vita. I forgot what they called it, but it was like a standalone Sony Vita. It had no screen or anything. You would plug it into your TV. I forgot what it was, but it's a similar idea to that. This is like a more powerful. This is a Steam box, right? It's basically the Steam Deck, but it's in a console form, right? It's a box. And you put it by your TV. It's intended to sit there always, like any other console. This is one of my issues with the Steam Deck. Is one of the reasons I don't dock it to my TV is that I have to keep, I'm carrying it around and I have to keep plugging it in and unplugging it and plugging it. And a lot of times you have to pair your controls over and over again. It's irritating. So it takes too long. Like when you have a console, you just walk up to it, boom, you press the power button, boom, you're already playing it. It's none of this fucking things I have to pair the control every time I turn it on. That's one of the things that detracts me from playing even big picture mode on my PC. Where we have it in our living room, and every time I'm like, I don't even want to turn it on because I know I have to turn the thing on. It has to boot up, then the Windows opens up, and then I have to go into the Steam application, and then I have to pair my control. And it's like, come on, man, it's just taking too damn long. Stupid. That's my issue. And that's one of the things that's cool about this. But again, like the Xbox Ally, it's a hybrid console, people. It's got the big picture mode and all that shit. If you want, you plug it into your TV, and that's it. And it works with your Xbox controls. I think they're already set up for it, the Xbox controls and all that. So this whole thing that they beat them to the market, it's like, you guys are fucking retarded. They didn't beat them. They already got the hybrid console. It's been on store shelves for weeks now. Okay? All right. 1 second. But they want to be negative. That's the whole point, right? It's to hate this thing. All right. I think Xbox should partner up with streaming platforms like Twitch or Kick. That way streamers can promote the new Xbox by streaming on it while playing games. I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing that. But like I said, that's one of the things I envision in the future is that once that new Xbox hybrid console comes out, if Sony and Nintendo don't follow them, then they're not going to look very good by comparison. They're not. They're going to look kind of shitty. But word on the street is that Sony might be going in this direction because they see what Xbox is doing, and they're just going to look limited by comparison. But by Sony opening the door like this, they're kind of fucking themselves over. They really are. This is like I said, this is what the disruption in the market is. What Xbox is doing is really disrupting the market in a big way. That people don't know it yet, but when these hybrid consoles come out, that's going to shake everything up. The fact that now you can go on, you can play that, you can use that Steam control on your Xbox, you can use that headset, you can use a Quest on your Xbox, you have VR on your Xbox. That none of these guys are talking about this. You're going to be able to use any VR helmet on the next Xbox. You're going to be able to use PlayStation 5 controls on the next Xbox. You're going to be able to play PlayStation 5 games on your next Xbox. You're going to be able to play Sony's games. All of the ones, anyone they put on the Windows PC, it's working on the next Xbox. So now you don't even need a PlayStation. So that in a lot of ways, that's going to get Sony thinking, like, should we be putting these games on PC still? But from what I hear, they're okay with this. They're okay with Xbox having those games. I heard this recently. Sony was talking about it. So the whole market is opening up now. It's not like it used to be. All right. All right. I love my ROG Ally learned how to emulate PS3 games. So dope. Yeah, man. I've been doing that too. I've been playing PS3 games. One of the games that actually runs really well on there is I have the Ally X. I don't know if you have that one. I'm running Fight Night Champion on it. Fight Night Champion. It runs amazing. I'm like blown away. And that's an older game. I'm also playing, the game Fracture, which I never got into. I'm playing the PS3 version of it. It's awesome. I'm playing all kinds of stuff on there when it comes to emulation. That thing is a beast for emulation. You play on that Xbox Ally. It plays a lot of software you can play on there, and a lot of emulated stuff. But I mean, there's tons of PC games as well. And you run your Game Pass and all that. It's freaking awesome.
Valve is gunning for Windows big time. Again,
they're gunning for Windows, even though most of their money they make is on the Windows PCs, you dumbass. Most people don't run their games on Linux, okay? They run them on Windows. And so Valve and Windows have a good relationship, okay? They really do. These guys think these guys are enemies. No, they're not.
This is, if I was Microsoft, I'd be like, shit.
Shit. The Steam Deck sold 6 million units. All we sold was... I don't know. They sold a lot of damn units, people. We're so scared. Why would they be scared? They have bigger competitors in the console space than Valve. Okay. Also, they're making money with Valve. Okay. They're making a lot of money with Valve. They put Halo on there, and that game sold millions of copies on the PC, people. Millions. On the PC alone. Millions. And they were selling on what? On Steam.
Xbox brand is officially dead after this. This is the nail in the...
Yeah, they're totally dead, bro. They just spent $70 billion, but they just don't have a penny left. They're finished. Valve, they're just crushed them. They just crushed them, people. And you see how stupid this is?
Coffin for Xbox. Because they just came in and stole the lunch of the entire angle that Microsoft was trying to do. Microsoft...
I know I keep saying it, but the Xbox Ally is already out, and that's a hybrid console.
We'll say, a decade to get their shit together and do this, and they never did.
They already did it, you dumbass.
People have been waiting for this.
They already done it, you stupid fuck. They're already doing it.
Not just me. Everyone's been saying, this is what you need to do. Make your console a mini PC.
They're already doing it.
And make it an open environment so that people can utilize it in more than just a walled garden of just Xbox games. That if you're buying a Microsoft product, Microsoft already has Windows, bro. You already have the foundation to do this. And you don't. So Steam comes in.
They don't when they're already doing it.
Linux is on the rise. And Steam works.
Yeah, Linux is totally on the rise. It's totally better than Windows. Not. Okay, it's not. Oh my God. I have Fight Night on there too. It runs at 60 frames if you patch it. Yeah, I haven't run it at 60 frames yet. I'm going to give that a try, man. Laugh out loud. Microsoft has infinite money. Pretty they're willing to lose a lot of money to revamp the market for the future. Yeah, dude, they already won the everything. They've already won. These guys just don't know it yet. I think that's really what it is. They just don't know it yet. When this hybrid console becomes the norm, they're all gonna have to come knocking at Xbox's door and say, "Hey, can we borrow your Windows? Can we do that? Can we pay you to run Windows? Can we please do that? Because you're killing us with your hybrid console right now." And it's going to hurt them. It's going to disrupt the market. And like I said, most of the money that Nintendo and Sony gets is through licensing fees. Okay? The Xbox ain't playing that game anymore. They've gone into the software and services business. Sony and Nintendo can't fuck with it. Not even Valve can fuck with it when it comes to software and services. Now look, I really like Half-Life. It's an awesome game. But what else does Valve have? Now they can go and try to make Team Fortress and bring that back. They got a couple of IPs in there. But Valve isn't in the business of investing in software. And by software, I mean games. They're not. Now they have a lot of effing money, but they don't have the kind of big money Nintendo has or Sony has or Xbox has. Now Xbox is the super beast. All right? They really are. These guys are really underestimating how insane that company is. They literally have trillions of dollars. If they want to take this market, they're going to eventually. And this move they're going towards with the hybrid console, the whole intention is to shake these motherfuckers up. And it's going to work. I think it's definitely going to work. This is why, again, you see Sony, they're right now I'm hearing reports that they might be working on a hybrid console. And that's fear. And what they don't understand is when they make that hybrid console, it's like the samurai. Right? He's sticking that knife right into his belly. They're taking a hit by doing this. But I think they feel that if they don't, they're going to be looked at as old, right? As that they're behind the times. Because when you open it, like I said, this hybrid console that the Xbox put out is so flexible that, again, you're going to be able to run GOG on there. You're going to be able to run the Steam storefront. You got the Xbox storefront. You got the ability to run PS5 control on there. You can be all kinds of controls, PS4 controls, all kind of these different controls. You can run VR helmets on it. No one's talking about this, that you're going to be able to run VR off this system. Any one of these helmets, the Valve Index, the Quest, anything. It's so flexible. It's insane. It's literally the most pro-consumer console ever created, probably. And so now Valve's coming out of nowhere and they're like, by the way, we got this thing, which they just pulled it straight off the shelves. From what I hear, those are off the shelf parts. Like Xbox is making like their own custom stuff. You know, that's a real, and from what I hear, it's a monster. They're saying the system is ridiculous. That's what I hear. They're saying that the thing might cost $1,000. You got to keep in mind, that's probably subsidized. That thing's probably worth more than that. So I think it's pretty exciting. They're shaking it all up, people. They're shaking the industry up. And this is the true disruption of the market that Xbox bringing in. And in a lot of ways, this was always the vision of the Xbox, was to bring in this kind of hybrid console. They're just finally doing it.
In conjunction with Linux already on the Steam Deck, people are taking to it.
But again, this whole thing of Linux is just retarded. They keep going on about Linux. Yeah, Linux is okay, but come on. It ain't beating Windows. Windows, all these games are built for Windows. Linux is a small number of games that are built for Linux. So you're going to have compatibility problems with Linux on this new this new Valve console. You're going to have issues with Linux. You might actually not even be able to play Call of Duty on there. The only way it's going to happen is if Xbox helps them, if Microsoft helps them to run Call of Duty. Because I remember for a long time, you couldn't even play Halo online on the Steam Deck. I just now found out that it runs along with Gears of War. Those games didn't run for like years on that Steam Deck. They finally run, but these Call of Duty games, they literally don't even boot on the Steam Deck. You gotta actually completely wipe your operating system on there and load Windows onto it, and it's not built for it. The Steam Deck is not built to run Windows. So when you run these Call of Duty and all that, it runs like garbage. Like Call of Duty runs like trash on the Steam Deck, unless you're playing older Call of Duty games. But if you're trying to play the modern ones, the newer ones, they just run like garbage. And that's a big problem for this box here.
They're taking your lunch right now. You lost.
Yeah, he's like, they're eating your lunch. A baseless statement. Just stupid.
People are taking to it. They're taking your lunch right now. You lost, Microsoft. Here it is. That Microsoft has turned into Sega. They're gone.
It's beyond retarded. It really is. Like I said, look at Sony over here. They sell a VR helmet and a new console, and they both flopped. That reminds me a lot more of Sega than what Xbox is doing. Okay, give me 1 second. I have an article here that talks about Xbox's growth. 1 second. They're growing. That's the interesting part. Okay, I think this might be. Give me 1 second. All right. So this document here, people, shows you how much Xbox is not becoming Sega. They're actually growing, not getting smaller, okay? So I'm going to read some of this right now. So it says Xbox Statistics 2025 sales, Game Pass, and market trends. All right? It says Editor's Choice over here. It says Xbox Series X and Series S have sold a combined total of over 33 million units globally since their launch. That's, people, keep in mind, that's sold. That's sold, not shipped. You got to remember that. The other day I looked at the numbers for the Steam Deck sales, they said 6 million shipped. They didn't say sold, okay? So that means that who knows how many they sold. They could have actually sold 4 million. And that's in over 3 years, okay? You also got to put in a lot of different factors. That the Xbox, when it came out, there was like some, fraudemic going on. What I consider it a scam. There was a scam, a virus thing going on. So that probably hurt their sales as well. But they're saying they sold over 33 million units globally since their launch in late 2020. All right, Xbox Game Pass boasts over 37 million active subscribers as of Q1 2025, a 12% increase, all right? So Game Pass is actually growing, not shrinking, growing. Xbox Live now has 130 million monthly active users, up from 120 million in 2024. So there you go. There's growth. That's a growth of 10 million more people since 2024. Oh, but Xbox is dying. They're going the way of Sega, right? Xbox Live. That meaning, you got to keep in mind, they just said that they sold a little bit. They sold over 33 million units, but on Xbox Live, because they branched out people, they're not stuck in a single box. They have over 130 million monthly active users. That's a very impressive number there. That's more users than Sony has sold PlayStation 5s. Okay? All right, in 2024. In 2024, Microsoft reported that gaming revenue reached 18.1 billion, with Xbox accounting for nearly 40% of that. So Xbox, when it comes to money, they've actually acquired 40% of all the money of gaming as a whole. 40%. That's pretty insane, don't you think? The top-selling Xbox titles in 2024 was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, with 8.3 million copies sold on Xbox platforms alone. Xbox sold 8.3 million copies of Call of Duty. That's a lot. And guess what? That money goes right into their pocket. Why? Because they own Call of Duty. And they release it right through their service. So there is no overhead. You know who has to pay royalties to Xbox? Right? So Xbox takes all that money, right? They take it from the PlayStation, and they take it from all over the place. But the funny part is this is just Xbox sales alone. So once again, the top selling Xbox title in 2024 was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, with 8.3 copies sold on the Xbox platforms alone. Xbox platforms. So I guess that would be considered the PC and the Xbox, but they're not factoring in the PlayStation, right? Because they own this franchise now. All right, sorry guys. Bob's showing me my screen went black. I don't know why. Thanks for showing me that, Bob. Yeah, sorry guys. I was reading that in the void. All right, so once again, look at this. So they sold that's 8.3 million on the Xbox console alone. You gotta understand, people. They're not even factoring the money they're making from the PlayStation platform, because obviously they own Call of Duty, so they're making money there too. All right. And so over here we have cloud gaming hours streamed via Xbox Cloud Gaming doubled year over year to 1.2 billion hours in 2024. It says the United States remains Xbox's strongest market, with 41% of all Xbox console sales originating from the US. All right, so global Xbox gaming software revenue trends. We're going to read some of this right now. Give 1 second. Sorry guys about the black screen. Okay, so it says in 2012, Xbox software revenue reached a high of 7.72 billion, marking one of its strongest years early on. All right. So that's 2012. Okay. Revenue slightly declined to, this is going to tell you the story of what's going on with the Xbox, since these guys are saying they're on the decline, but the numbers I'm seeing are saying pretty much the opposite of that. They're dying, but they're not dying. Okay. All right. So revenue slightly declined to 7.6 billion in 2013. And you got to keep in mind, people, it's going to decline because that's the year. That's the year that, people are getting ready to buy the new consoles. So they're going to stop buying for the majority of that year, because I think the Xbox One came out at the end. I think it came out at the end of the 2013. 1 second to lower this music. Okay. All right, so it declined to 7.6 billion in 2013, continuing a downward trend over the next few years. Then it says by 2014 to 2016, revenue stabilized around 6.6 billion, showing consistent yet modest decline. All right, so this happens because it's 2016. Sometimes, as the consoles are around, they start to dwindle away, right? Like they don't sell as well as through the age of a console. It's the normal life cycle of a console. All right. In 2017, revenue fell further to 6.46 billion and then to 5.79 billion in 2018, indicating a weakening market. Okay. So a major drop occurred in 2019 where revenue hit. So this is showing a decline. So hit 4.54 billion, the lowest point in the chart. So that's understandable once again, because this is 2019. This is literally months from the Xbox, the new Xbox coming out. And this is what happens. People stop buying stuff in anticipation of the new stuff that's coming out. They're like saving their money probably. I say a slight recovery followed. This is in 2020. A slight recovery followed in 2020 with the 4.79 billion, and then a stronger rebound in 2021 with 6.35 billion. So it's going up again. It's like a wave, right? Xbox software revenue surged in 2022 to 7.75 billion, followed by an all-time peak of 8.67 billion projected for 2024. So they're actually making more money than they did in 2012. It's gone complete full circle. They're actually making more money than they made in 2012. All right? They're making more money now. Xbox software revenue surged, and okay, I think I just read that. Followed by an all-time peak of, okay. So it says forecasted for 2023 and 2025, estimated revenue 8.55 billion and 8.57 billion, respectively, suggesting steady growth post 2021 recovery. So actually the Xbox isn't dying, it's growing. Again, it's going full circle. Xbox console sales figures all-time and recent. Says as of 2025, total lifetime Xbox console sales have surpassed 175 billion units globally across all generations. So this is, the amount of units they sold. And now I'm going to read this little bit here. It says the Xbox Series X and S family sold 11.4 million units in 2024. So in 2024 alone, they sold 11.4 million units. That's a decent amount of consoles sold. It says compared to 9.8 million in 2023. So they're selling a lot of these systems. People don't know that. Look, in 2024, they sold over 11 million Xbox consoles. People think that's a small number. That's a lot of systems. You got to keep in mind, people, and I'm bringing this up because these guys saying that Valve's going to eat Xbox alive, right? But you got to keep in mind, Valve in over 3 years has shipped 6 million Steam Decks. So we don't even know if they sold 6 million, but we know they shipped 6 million. The Xbox in 1 year sold over 11 million units in a year. Okay? So that just shows you the strength of their brand. And that year was last year. That wasn't a long time ago. So to say this company's dying is ridiculous. Okay? So in 2023, it says they sold 9.8 million Xbox Series consoles in 2023. So the next year, they actually sold more consoles. So they're saying they're on the decline when they're actually selling more in 2024 than they did in 2023. All right. So I'm going to end it right there. And this guy, I'm just saying, these guys don't do any research. They're full of shit. They just talk out their fucking ass.
On the console after this, I would almost say it's so crazy how big of a atom bomb drop this was today that Microsoft might be having conversations of canceling what they were doing and being like, it's just not worth it. This is too.
I need like a laugh track to show off how fake this guy is. Like these fucking guys don't do any research. They just talk right out their ass.
Good. We can't compete with this.
They can't compete. Well, it's the other way around. It's probably, well, I mean, the Valve, they could compete, but they ain't competing on that level. I just said it. I just showed you, people. Well, I didn't show you. I read it. They sold over 11 million units of the Xbox Series consoles in 2024. The Valve Steam Deck has sold most likely less than 6 million units in over 3 years. These guys sold more than the Steam Deck sold in 3 years in 1 year.
We could compete with it, but financially, it's too much of a risk.
People, that's so dumb. It's so dumb. These motherfuckers have $4 trillion, over $4 trillion in the bank. Financially, we just can't do it. I mean, Valve, they just got us, bro. People, Valve is worth at the most, the estimate from what I'm hearing, is around $16 billion. That's a lot of effing money, but the Xbox is worth over $4 trillion. That's some crazy money. Okay, that's like a mountain of money so high that you're in the space when you sit at the top of it.
We've already been losing so much on the last generation. We can't do it again.
It's just. I feel like these little fanboys, anti-Xbox fanboys, sit in this guy's room and jack off to the shit, and it's all bullshit. All of it.
Team did it better, and yeah, this is proof positive of it. Legacy Killer says
they're dead.
Steam Machine comes at a perfect time. Valve truly could make a huge impact on
the console
space.
All right, we got the Don in the comments. What's up, man? We just showing off some trolls on the internet. Just
time in which competition is
just hanging out. All right, salute my Dons. What's up, man?
Badly needed. Also, might be a death sentence for Xbox. Wholeheartedly
high level of retarded.
Agree.
I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah, because you're a bunch of fucking trolls. You're just fucking fake. These people are just fake. And they really are no joke, not to be an asshole, but they should just remove this guy's videos from the internet. Because if I owned the company and a guy like this did something to discredit my company, I would have their shit removed. I'd fucking sue him. I really would. Because this guy got a lot of followers on social media, and he's over here building doubt around this console. Because I don't know if people know about the history of consoles, but when a console's having a hard time, a lot of times they discontinue it. And the last thing you want to do is buy a console that's going to get discontinued, because they're not going to feed it with new software. And that's one of the great things about a hybrid console, is that even if they do discontinue the hardware, you're still going to be able to run all these PC games on it. It's not like with the classical console, they have to specifically build for that piece of hardware. So once that company stops supporting it, it's dead. There's no software on it, right? Unless you do some crazy reverse engineering and you're able to connect it to a computer, and you got some people in the community building games for it. You see that right now on the Nintendo, but it ain't going to be like viable. They ain't going to be like these amazing AAAs on there. No. But once again, this guy's saying, these people spouting off all these lies. This actually makes people not buy the console. So, and it's all built on lies. Like, everything these people are saying is bullshit. I just said the numbers. These guys aren't dying. They're growing. They're making more money, not less.
Also, might be a death sentence for Xbox. Wholeheartedly agree, by the way.
I agree with everything you're saying. Xbox is broke. They're all on the unemployment line right now. They're done. They're finished. They're going bankrupt. That over $4 trillion? These guys are dead.
I mean, as we're going through these, we're seeing what everyone's saying, and it's a very similar sentiment across the board, where it's like, this is such a big deal. This is a nuke dropped by Valve today with what they were doing with
in their imaginations. In their imaginations, this is a nuke.
The Steam Machine. Timing also is interesting, with Half-Life 3 allegedly being announced soon.
The funny part about it is Half-Life 3 is probably going to be on everything. On everything. It's going to be on the Xbox, PlayStation, all of it. Okay? You also got to keep in mind, most likely, that Half-Life 3 will be on the Steam storefront. And guess what runs the Steam storefront? The Xbox does. Okay? So they will have Half-Life 3.
Think about that, too, by the way. Imagine if they time this to launch.
Imagine if we're full of shit and the new Steam console is actually weaker than the PS5, where it actually is. and it's going to kill the new Xbox, which is like probably like 8 times more powerful than this thing.
With Half-Life 3 and have Half-Life 3 be like the flagship game for this. Like, obviously you can play it on everything else, but like the marketing buzz and getting people excited about being able to play it on their console, on their TV in their living room. Like this is all, it's all coming together right now. And as far as the Steam machine or the Gabe Cube is concerned,
and people, really what it is, it's a bunch of hate, and it's like hopium for the death of this system and this company for no good reason. That's my big issue with this, is that, well, I got 2 big issues. First of all, it's garbage. This isn't even logic. This is based on these are blanket statements, blank statements built on nothing. They have no basis for any of this shit they're saying. They haven't researched anything. They're just like, it's dead. This is going to be the end of it. Look, Nintendo Switch 2 came out. The Xbox is crying right now. They're dead. Every time something happens, they're dead. They're talking about making a hybrid console. They're dying, right? Even though Sony says they're going to put out a hybrid console, and now everyone's like, this is a win for gamers. But when Xbox says we're putting out a hybrid console, they're dead. They're dying.
He says, someone explain this to me like I'm 5 years old, please. Is this weaker as stronger or stronger than, say, PS5, Xbox Series X? As far as my research, with everything I've looked into.
Why? This guy actually does research? Are you kidding? Yeah, I really do research. Come on.
The specs of this Steam machine it's not as...
It's destroying the Xbox. That's what it is.
Powerful as a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, but it's more powerful than an Xbox Series S and a PS4. I've seen
super powerful, and I hear it might actually cost $800, so it's fucked.
Kind of
now it's more flexible than a Xbox Series S and a PS4, but from what I hear, it's way more expensive.
Put it in the same area as like a PS4 Pro type thing, maybe a little bit better than that, but right around that area.
He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He really doesn't. Valve is projecting this thing to be. They're saying something like 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck. Okay? If it's 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck, it's not a PS4 Pro. The Steam Deck that's out right now is projected as being equal, if not more powerful than a PS4 Pro. So how are you going to say this thing with 6 times more powerful is on equal footing with the PS4 Pro? No, bro. It's more powerful than that. So he doesn't know anything of what he's talking about. This thing is more powerful than a PS4 Pro, substantially. I've seen it running. It's got a dynamic resolution, but it's running Cyberpunk with high settings, with some pretty decent settings at 60 frames per second.
Not necessarily terrible. Again, depends on what the price is for this. And as far as my own interest for this, I don't think I'm going to be in the market for it personally, because I have already bought a mini PC.
I like how he's over here shitting on the Xbox the whole time, saying this device is so amazing, and I was like, yeah, I'm not buying that. That's funny.
That can do all of this and do all of this better. This is what I purchased. Let me bring it up. It's not available anymore because they sold out of them, but it's a mini gaming PC, GeForce RTX 4060, 8 gig GDD R6 desktop computer, i9, 32 gigs DDR5 RAM, 1 terabyte PCI.
I got 4060. My rig in my living room is better than his rig. Just saying. It's a better rig. I have a 4080 in it. Actually, it has a 4070 Super in it. And it's not a very big system. I mean, everything's better in the system I have. See, I'm PC Master Race, and I have another better PC that I have in my office.
This is my portable computer that I take whenever I'm traveling to conventions and live streaming from hotel rooms and stuff. This thing is a fucking beast.
No, it isn't. I have a beast. Look at this, people. Look at this. You see all this stuff here? This is what a beast PC does. I mean, obviously you need imagination to build all this stuff, right? Look, this is the studio, people. You're watching Foo Gaming live on YouTube and on Shit Cylinder. That's shittube.com. All right. Look at this. Oh, whoa. Well, look at this set. So just so you guys know, this is all live. I am scrolling through the set live. This is all kinds of high definition content running at the same time. You're going to need a honking CPU. I do all kinds of stuff in order to optimize this, but this is all running live. This is a virtual studio I created in OBS, right? Foo Gaming Live. It's quite amazing, people. It really is. Look at that. I got an intro. Oh, The Suffering. We're not going to be playing that today, but I'm going to be playing that soon on the channel. I played a little bit of it a couple of months ago. We'll get back to it. We're going to be playing the PS2 version because the PC version of it is kind of glitching a little bit. Anyway, we're going to go back to the cheese ball. He's like, man, I got a crazy PC. No, mine's is cooler.
Blown away by how much it can do. And it's the size of like
this is what he uses that PC for, to have this awesome graphics over here where it's just like a camera watching himself. And the shit is all pre-recorded.
My hands together like that. It's tiny. It fits in a carry-on suitcase. It's amazing. With portable screen monitors and stuff like that. Can fit it all, the keyboard and everything into a portable, into a carry-on suitcase. I don't
know. It's all bullshit. Why did we watch this? Why did we do that to ourselves? Why did I do that? I'm sorry, guys. It's all full of shit, okay? We're going to listen to the music from Cliffhanger. I'm not going to drop you! Gabe! No! Man, that hurt my throat. People. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some Foo Sports Live, I think. Like I said earlier in the show. People, guess what? Big fights going on this weekend. We got Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Conor Benn 2. It's happening there. That's probably going to be a pretty good fight. And we also got the UFC event happening on my neck of the woods. Madison Square Garden. Got Shevchenko's fighting that Yang, I think her name is. And you have also, I think you have the welterweight championship that's happening. It's I don't know, Neckbeard versus whatever this guy's name is. It's going to be a good fight. I forget the guy's name. Anyone remember that guy's name? I'll be right back. Well, I'll be right back after these messages. Okay?
Warden, take care of my book.
All right, people. While I'm gone, we're going to be watching something that's very relevant. Okay? It's very relevant to the music that we're hearing right now. All right. 1 second. All right, people, that's the classic cliffhanger. All right, music choice foo. Great music choice. That's Don Bob. All right. 1 second, people. Okay, so before I get out of here, right now it is 11:45. Remember, people, real quick, remember to subscribe to The Real Food TV, the greatest channel known to man, being streamed live on Rumble and U-Cylinder. If you guys want to support the channel, I think our Venmo is in the description on U-Cylinder. And by U-Cylinder, I mean ShitTube. All right. For the encore, just going to take a look real quick at this amazing Xbox experience. These guys saying that. Very Xbox-centric episodes lately. Don't worry, we're going to be going back to our regular scheduled playing games on here and talking about games. I'm going to start doing reviews as well. We are going to have a whole system where we review storyline, graphics, and so on. I'm going to start doing serious reviews of games on this channel, okay? On this show. This is just one of the many shows we do on The Real Food TV, all right? We got all of our programming coming back. We got some new episodes of Horror Radio, people. Duping Delight. We got Foo Sports Live coming back tomorrow, right? We got all kinds of stuff on this amazing channel. Just remember to subscribe to the greatest channel to man, The Real Food TV. All right, The Real Food TV, all right? The Real Food, not The Real TV, The Real Food TV, all right? 1 second. I'm going to show you guys this real quick because this guy said, hey, that Xbox shit, that's stupid. Right? Okay, so what you're seeing right now is you're actually looking at real Xbox Ally footage, and it's not footage, it's actually running natively right now. I have created a graphic, I have it plugged in right now. It's direct feed footage from my Xbox Ally. Give me 1 second, gotta have some fitting music here. All right, so this guy's saying all this shit, talking all this shit. He's like, hey, you guys are stupid. You guys are dumb. You didn't do it. You didn't have that hybrid console. Well, guess what? It's already out. And this is it right here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you guys around. You see this right here? This is their big picture experience. I'm scrolling around on this right now. You see what this is, guys? This is a thing called big picture mode. This is Steam. Big picture mode. The same thing you see on the Steam Deck. And it's here live. There you goes VR here. If I wanted to, this thing actually does do VR. If I plugged in a headset, I can actually play VR games on this thing. Okay, so these are some of my library. I have tons of games on Steam. See this right there? I have over 400 games on Steam. I can access them all through the Xbox Ally. Scrolling through them, and then I hit this button here. Boom. Look at that. Oh, whoa, there's the Xbox experience, right? Here's Game Pass. Have all those games. Oh, guess what's there, people? Let me show you this right now. Here's my library. We're going to look around. Okay. I got a lot more games than this, but this is some of them. And keep in mind, look at the games. This right here is in GOG. These are software from all kinds of different sites or streaming. Not streaming. This is different marketplaces. So this one is Game Pass. This one here is GOG. You see it right there, GOG Galaxy. Right here, Steam. These are games in Steam, so they combine them all together. Right? This is a hybrid console, people. I don't know if you know that. So I go over here to Game Pass. Guess what's in there? A game that literally came out. That I think just came out like an hour ago. The game is called Black Ops 7, and I already have it. Let's go. We're going to scroll down. Look at that. It says play. If I press play, guess what I'm playing? I'm playing Black Ops 7, which just came out literal minutes ago. Okay? And so I'm going to hit the Xbox button again, and guess what's on here? Oh, there's a game running. And look how smooth it is. Oh, that's Sunset Overdrive. I don't know if you guys ever played this. I've never finished it, so I'm actually currently playing it on my Xbox Ally X. What you see right now is direct feed footage. Look how sharp that looks. Isn't that pretty impressive? It's a pretty impressive, super... This is a very powerful portable device. And what's crazy is the thing doesn't run hot at all. Again, what you're seeing right now is running natively on the Ally X. Let's see if we can funnel some audio in here. Let's see if I can get audio in there. I might have the audio down. Let me see. No, I just have it muted. All right. All right, so we'll zoom in a little bit. So yes, people, what you're witnessing right now is a game running on the Xbox Ally X. This is an Xbox device. It is a hybrid console. It's out right now. This is actually the OS, the exact OS that will be running on the new Xbox that comes out, the Xbox console. This is the portable version. Sort of like what Steam's putting out. They're putting out a box, right? It's not a portable console that goes outside the home. It's a box. It's basically like a Steam Deck, set-top box Steam Deck, right? And this is basically the Steam Deck, but the Xbox Steam Deck. It's an Xbox handheld. That's what it is, okay? This game, Sunset Overdrive, is literally made by Xbox. What's up, Sobers? Yeah, we got Never Sobers in there. One moment. See if I can display this on the screen. I see, yeah, the cell phone's still working. We got Never Sobers reloaded in there. What's up, Sobers? You're not doing shows anymore, Sobers? He was doing for a little while. I'm like looking around to see if he's got a show going on. Sobers, he has like an episode going on on his channel. He has an episode every day. His like never-ending live streams. Steambox. No, this is what you see right now, Sobers, is the Xbox Ally X. This is actually direct feed footage I'm manipulating right now. This is my character that I created in Sunset Overdrive. I've never finished this game, so I'm actually playing it right now. Okay, so I just mess around to see if I show you guys a tiny bit of this running on this Xbox hybrid console. This is or an Xbox, you could say, hybrid portable. But this is the same experience you will be having in 2027 when the new Xbox comes out. This is the Xbox experience, big picture. You see here, there you go. You can bounce around. Right, if you see on the bottom, you see what it says. It says Xbox full screen experience. What that does is that cuts down the interface so that there's not, as they call, bloat, right? So it's specifically configured to run games. It cuts out all the unnecessary parts, okay? If you go to the right side, that's the Windows. That literally opens up Windows 11, except it runs now. You can control it with a control. It's a lot easier to navigate than your regular Windows, like on a PC. It's extremely good, and it runs all Windows software. You can do all kinds of stuff with that, but you see I can bounce around. Here's the game. Here's the marketplace, Xbox marketplace there, Game Pass and so on. And here's Steam's big picture mode. Boom, right there. And there's other stuff I can do in here. I'll show you. We have GOG. You see this? Other storefronts. We got Xbox, Steam, EA. You can add more of them to it. You download them. Here's GOG. We'll see how that starts up. Because right now I'm running this, I don't have an Ethernet cable. This has to run through my walls. I'm using Wi-Fi. We don't have the best Wi-Fi in here when it comes to, well, upstairs in the office. It has to go through a lot of walls, but it looks like it's working perfectly. Right? The connection's reaching. Okay. You can look at some of my library here, all games. Well, actually, this is all their games. I'm going to see my games. Okay, discover, recent, all games. Where does it say own games? There it is. Click on that. And there you go. These are the games I own in GOG, and they work just fine. Got Time Shift in there. That's a good one. All the stuff is good. People got Suffering. This is another storefront. So now we're going to click here. Boom. What do you see? GOG storefront. Big picture mode Steam storefront. My game. Boom. Now you got Xbox storefront. All there. Now, if anybody's going to tell me that this interface isn't better than the Steam Deck, you're out of your fucking mind. And you got to keep in mind, this is right now in the game mode of the portable. It's in the game mode. And this is the exact OS you're going to get when you get your Xbox, your new Xbox in 2027. This is like light years ahead of the Steam Deck and what Steam's putting out in that box. I don't think it's going to operate the way this does. Like, look how smooth this moves. I jump it into 3 different storefronts like that. And then boom, go in here. Now back to the game. Okay. I'm just going to just X out of this. Show you how well it runs. There you go. Very streamlined, very smooth.
Follow me.
You see a tiny bit of screen tearing, it's because I turned off VSync.
Who are you?
I'm Walter, the guy who just saved your ass. There's still a few survivors left in the city, but not for long.
All right, so once again, people, this is a game called Sunset Overdrive. This is running on the Xbox Ally right now. Okay, I haven't messed around with the settings too much, but as you see, it's running at over 70 frames per second. This title on the OG Xbox, on the Xbox One, runs at 30 frames. Okay, and this could run at 1080p. You could probably run it even at 1440p. You just have to tweak with the settings. I'm pretty sure I can run 1440p or even 4K. If I brought it to like 30 frames, I bet you it'll run at 4K.
You're failing already. Watch it. They followed us. They're all yours, kid.
Yeah, let's beat the shit out of these guys.
Let me show you what I got. Help me!
Nah, you're fine. Keep it up.
Quit judging me in hell!
Not bad, kid. Meet me at the basketball court.
Why? So you can silently judge me some more?
All right, so there you go, people. Oh, zoomed in a little too much. You're going to zoom out. Okay. So there you go. That's the Xbox Ally X being played live on one of the most amazing shows ever. Amazing gaming shows ever. This is Foo Gaming Live, people. Look, playing it live. I've created this virtual Xbox Ally. This is direct footage. I'm playing this right now on my Xbox Ally. And I think it's pretty damn cool. The system is pretty awesome. Look at that, 80 frames per second. You saw that? This thing is a damn beast. And you saw that OS.
Gotta get to the back.
That shiznit is amazing. I failed because I went the total different direction.
Not bad, kid.
There you go. You see that?
Meet me at the basketball court.
90 frames. You
Why?
could
So you can silently judge me
if I wanted to, I could tune this some more and it would run awesomely, you know? It's a great, amazing portable. You know, it really is. Sorry. Wrong one. All right, with that said, anyway, we've been here for a little while, people. I'll probably be back tomorrow. Like I said, we're probably going to be doing some sports streams. A sports stream, getting ready for the big fights that are happening this Saturday. But this is the game show, and we're going to be coming back. People are going to be playing all kinds of games. Like I said, I'm going to be doing reviews and so on, right? Got to lower the audio on this Steam Deck. I mean, not Steam Deck, damn Xbox Ally. People, you know what I want to do? I want to hold you in my arms and hug you because you were here. Jack, hopefully my audio is working. I really hope. Okay, 1 second. Where the heck is... All right, people, I want to thank you all for coming in here on this very late night edition of Foo Gaming Live. We're going to be back real soon. Like I said, I'm going to start doing reviews of games on here. And we're going to also be beating a lot of the games that we've been trying to beat over the last few weeks. I'm going to show you guys the Real Foo TV Gaming Achievement Board. I'm going to show that real quick. Show you guys my progress, some of my progress on some of these games we're working on. You know, if you guys want to join us, you know, you could play along with us and see if you could beat the games before me. 1 second. Okay. Gonna see if this works. All right, so there you go. There's the achievement board. We're gonna be adding more games to it. All right, we got Killzone Shadowfall. I don't think I'm 50% into that game. I don't know. I might be. Punch Out 80%. I'm close to beating that one. I've never beat Punch Out, people. Never have. We got Kung Fu. That's on the NES. Going to try to beat that 45%. Condemned Criminal Origins 20. We got Last of Us 2. I'm going to be working on that soon. God of War 2. Never completed that title. That's the reason I never completed God of War 3 or any of them. I didn't play them because I have to beat each one of these games, especially a series that I really like, because I really enjoy God of War. And I want to beat them all, you know? All right, and so we got God of War, I have Last of Us 2, God of War 2. We got 1. I'm on level 2 of 6. I'm going to beat that one on the channel. We got Gunsmoke. This is the NES one, not the arcade. And then we have The Suffering. All right, I'm going to be working on that. There's lots of games we're going to be playing on this channel. You see on the bottom, it says Best Undisputed Player in the World. That's Undisputed Boxing. Pretty damn amazing at that. The games we have completed on the channel is Never Ending Nightmares. We've got Silent Hill, The Short Message, which actually seemed more like the long message. It took me all night to beat that thing. It's pretty cool. would be nice if they put it on the PC because it kind of ran like garbage on the PS5 for some weird reason. And we got Alex Jones the Game. I completed that on the channel. I might play it again, but it's an okay game. It's okay. It ain't no Metal Slug, but it plays similar to Metal Slug. But with that said, people, I want to thank you all for coming in here. If you want to support the channel, remember our Venmo is in the description of this video here on YouTube, on U-Cylinder, Shit Cylinder. And I want to thank all you guys on Rumble. If you guys want to help the channel out, just subscribe. Just subscribe to the greatest channel known to man, The Real Food TV. Have yourselves a good night, guys. We'll be seeing you tomorrow. We really will. This is the time when the sad music comes in, and we want to thank people that came in here. Right? Even though U-Cylinder is fucking screwing us all up, we're trying to migrate, but right now we're doing multi-streams. When we get some more subscribers, we'll probably migrate to Rumble. We'll do it all on Rumble. All right? Well, I want to thank the El Barbarino came in here. We got Manos came in here. We got Dempsey. Dempsey came in there. Thanks a lot, man. We got Quentin. Ooh, PlayStation is dying. I read that earlier. We got SGT came in here. Dark. All right, we already said Quentin. Got Hood. Okay. Millions of people. We got Never Sober's Reloaded. I said the El Barbarino. We got so many people in here. It's freaking crazy. Great show as always, Food. Greatest channel known to man. Yes, definitely. And Bob's going to be on some episodes too, people. She has a lot of stuff she's doing as well. And I said it earlier, we're going to be bringing back the horror radio. And we also have some new episodes of Duping Delight and so on. We got all kinds of stuff we're working on this channel, people. Once again, we want to thank you all for coming in here tonight. And we love you. Have a good night. See you later.